Helsa, once again, the gods and goddesses have given us another day to become better men, better women, better husbands, better wives, better fathers, better mothers. I was recently on a thread in which individuals were throwing out that they were 100% white supremacist, 100% white supremacist, and they were throwing out the concepts of supremacy. And I had asked an individual, I said, what makes a person a white supremacist? And they gave me this long list of things that makes a person a white supremacist. So I decided to go to this guy's Facebook page and look. And what I found on his Facebook page contradicted what he was saying. And this seems to be a problem or a theme that I have noticed within the 26, 27 years of me being involved with the so-called movement, if there is one nowadays. Even before coming an Odinist and then crossing over to a Wotanist or Wotan's folk. And one of the things that I think that we need to understand is if you're going to claim to be a white supremacist, if you're going to claim to be supreme, which I myself do not prescribe to the white supremacist concept. But if you're going to claim that, then at least look and play the part. Because several of the individuals that I seen, that I went to their Facebook pages and looked at their photos and looked at pictures of them, there wasn't much there to show that you are supreme. If I go to your Facebook page and I see that you're completely fat, out of shape, then I read on your Facebook pages that all you do is party and drink. And I go one step further and I start reading that your family is in disarray. Your children don't like you. You have this stuff all over your Facebook. You can't hold a job down. Your educational level is probably at a third to the highest I would give you is a fifth grade education. And every word out of your mouth is uneducated. And I see you in pictures at barbecues. Y'all are throwing up the Hail Hitler salutes. But every one of y'all's guts is bigger than the kegs you got stacked up drinking out of. I would ask one simple question. What makes you supreme over somebody else? Because in order to hold the supreme concept or the supreme mindset, you have to make sure that you are up at that standard. If you are out there having children that you won't take care of, if you have a woman at home and you are cheating on her, or if you're a woman doing the same thing, if you can't hold a job down because you're too drunk the next morning to get up and go to work, if you are completely fat and out of shape and you're not trying to do anything to better yourself, if you're not trying to read your history and educate yourself, then please answer me this one simple question. How in the fuck can you claim to be a white supremacist? One of the biggest problems that I have seen within my 27 years, maybe there's some that has seen more, but in my 27 years, one of the biggest problems I have seen within the so-called movement is a lot of talking, less action, and we continue to travel down that path. We never move forward. So, how is it that your mindset, your thought process, isn't that of the so-called white supremacist that you claim you are? You're fat, out of shape. If you had to walk 5 miles, you would fall out. And then on top of that, I hear so many people on Facebook talking about we need to rise and go to war. But yet when I look at your Facebook pages, I see that you couldn't even take 20 steps without breathing hard or having to grab an inhaler. But yet you claim you're ready to go to war. And not only are you not ready for that on a physical level, but on a mental level, you don't have the educational background to even begin to understand what a war is. What's the sense of claiming that you're a white supremacist or telling people on Facebook that we need to rise up, we need to go to war, if you yourself ain't even fit physically or mentally to stand within what we would call, let's say, a shield wall, to stand with your brothers and sisters? Before we start spouting off all these catchphrases, white power, white supremacists, 1488, before you start doing that, why don't you put yourself in a position to where you actually believe and follow what it is you claim? In the 88 precepts, it teaches any male who is not willing to die or fight defending the female is not fit. Paraphrasing. How are you going to fight for your people? How are you going to fight for, as you like to claim, the 14 words in the 88 precepts, if you're not even making an attempt to get on that kind of level? Supremacy is more than a color. Supremacy is a mindset. It's living and doing what it is you are claiming that you believe in. What it is and doing what you claim to believe in. You want to be a supremacist? You want to be a believer in the 14 words, the 88 precepts, which really nowadays has really become a catchphrase. But if you really have that mindset, then build your mind and body to be a living example to that. Don't claim you're a white supremacist and you're overweight. Your gut hangs down to your knees. Don't claim that you're a white supremacist if or a follower of the 14 words and the 88 precepts, and you're running around on your mate, male or woman, don't claim you're none of this if you're not taking care of your children. Don't tell me that you're a white supremacist or you're a follower of the 14 words and 88 precepts and you take handouts from the enemy because you're too lazy to get up and go get a job. You're too lazy to get up and take care of the very kids that you help produce. You want to be that? Then step up, man up, woman up, and live that. Get your body in shape. Get off the couch. Lay off the alcohol. Am I saying that there's something wrong with alcohol? No, I'm not. But what I am saying is that if you are claiming all these things, then what you're really claiming is that you have risen to the occasion, so to speak, or you have risen to the level where your mind is sharp. It's like a razor blade. It's sharp. No matter who comes up to you to try to educate you, you're ready. Your physicalness is up to par. There comes a point in time where words are not enough. Action must take place. So before you start claiming all this stuff from behind your keyboard, make sure you go on your Facebook page and take all the pictures off of it. So that way people can't go back and see how much of a liar you are. Same thing with our women. I see a lot of our women on there claiming to be feathers, claiming to be down for the white supremacy, whatever it is they got going on nowadays. But I'm going to put it bluntly. You're fat, out of shape, and you couldn't do anything. Now, I know I am fixing to piss a whole lot of people off on this because they're going to feel like I'm attacking them. Don't take it as an attack. Take it as an educational. Take it as if you look in the mirror and you see in that mirror what I am talking about, don't get upset. Don't go on Facebook, put a rant talking about this brother don't know me, this brother this brother that. Don't do that. Look in the mirror. If you don't like what you see, then begin to change that. Because I could care less if you changed it or not. Because the people that I surround myself with are people that I know. If something happened, I could stand side by side with them and not worrying about them falling out within the first 2 minutes. Educate yourself. If you claim to be something, then be that. Part of being where we're trying to reach is being the best example that we can be. That is the ultimate supremacist goal, is to reach that point where we look at ourselves and then other people look. I know we don't care what people have to say, but I'm sorry. You belong to a way of life that is based upon collectiveness. It is based upon examples being set. Don't tell me that you're a follower of the 14 words. You're a believer in the 88 precepts. Don't tell me or even claim that you're a white supremacist and you're a fucking drug addict. You're 20 years old, but you've done so, you're 20, 30 years old, but you've done so much drugs that you look like you're 50 and 60. You're fat, out of shape. And your version of a movement is all you fat, out of shape jokers getting together throwing Hail Hitler salutes, but yet neither one of y'all, between none of y'all, you couldn't produce $100. You want to be all that you're claiming? Then step up. Become that. Educate yourself. Work on your body. Get ready. Once you've done that, then focus on your family. If you got kids and you don't have a relationship with them, then you need to make one. If you out there cheating on your wife or you're cheating on your husband, then you need to stop it. Build your family structure. Make your family the best example. So that way when other white people within the so-called movement need an example, they can look and see, wow, this is what it's really about. I want to model my family off of this. Then once you get your family together, then start working on your tribe. I see brothers on Facebook and these brothers are building kindreds where they're at. They have their own method. They might not always agree with methods of other people, like doing videos and stuff like that, but they're doing what they have to do. They're building. They're taking the concepts of the 14, the concept of the 88, or they might not even follow that. But they're taking the concepts of the 9 noble virtues, the concept of tribalism, and they're building upon that. They go from having 1 or 2 people to 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And hopefully the gods continue to let these particular tribes grow. This is what it means to be a supreme. Supreme means to rule. But to rule over what? To rule over yourself. To rule over your family. Then turn your kindreds into that. But it all starts with a thought process. White supremacist, 14 words, 88 precepts, white power worldwide. These are not just slogans that are thrown out there. There are actually concepts. And most of us who have been in the movement a long time, we no longer even have to say it. Because our actions are going to speak for ourselves. When you see us, we're working on our bodies, getting our bodies in shape, especially all of us that have been to prison, because we understand what it means to be on that front line and happen to go to war. So when we come out of prison, we continue the burpee regimen or the working out or whatever it is that we do. And we understand that within man, there has to be a balance. So we want our physical body and our mental capacity to be at the same level. We don't want one above the other. We want it to be balanced. And if the man standing next to us is the exact same way, then all the way through, there's a balance. So I leave you with this. You can claim whatever you want to claim to be. But make sure whatever it is you claim, make sure that when people see or look, they see that within you. With that said, Helsa. And one more thing before I leave. A great military leader once said, never let your enemy know that he is an enemy until it's time to take his life. Remember that when you're out there protesting because the Black Lives Matters are protesting. Always remember, never show your hand until you have the knife or gun or the sword in it. Helsa.